Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and welcome back to my channel. It's Kibbomin here. I'm so glad to see you for joining me on this brand new video. So, I'd like to thank you for subscribing to my channel and leave comments below. I really appreciate your support. You guys are amazing and keep my creativity growing. So, hereby, I'll be doing another video for you guys. I have got Disney Pixar A Bug's Life. It was published by Grasshoppers Books and Disney Wonderworld Reading, and also illustrated by John Skewers and Corey Hansen. I think you find this quite interesting for you guys. I really love Disney movies so much. So, let's begin with you guys. So, sit back and listen and enjoy. It was right in the middle of a harvest that an ant named Flik had an idea. Flik was always inventing things. This idea wasn't so bad. An automatic harvester, but Princess Atta wouldn't listen to Flik. She was too busy figuring out if there will be enough grain for Hopper and his greedy grasshopper again. Every year, the grasshoppers came to demand food from our ants. This year, for the first time, Atta was in charge of a harvest. Suddenly, they could hear the grasshoppers coming. Atta was flustered. The queen took over. Quickly, everyone, into the anthill. You two Dot, she said to her younger daughter. The ants left the grasshoppers' grain piled up on the offering stone. Flik ran for cover too, but as he was taking off his wonderful harvesting machine, he knocked offering stone over. All of the grain slid down into the dry, cracked riverbed. Hopper would be furious. Hopper was furious. Flik tried to stand up to him, but couldn't. Hopper grabbed Dot and threatened the terrified ants. When I come back, I want to see twice the regular amount of grain, or else, he snarled. Flik knew that if the ants obeyed Hopper, they wouldn't have enough food for themselves. So he got another idea. I could get some bigger bugs to fight the grasshoppers, he suggested. Princess Atta and the Queen didn't like the idea, but they were glad to send Flik away. Only Dot had faith in him. Bring back some real tough bugs, she called as he floated away on his quest. Far away from Ant Hill, an audience of rowdy flies was booing yet another circus performance. P.T. Flea, the circus owner, had enough. "You're fired," he yelled at his performers. Soon, Flik arrived in the city. He had never seen anything like it. This was a place to find the tough bugs. Flik found the out-of-work circus bugs in the rundown tavern. He thought they were warriors. They thought he was looking for circus bugs. Oops. The circus bugs thought Flik was offering them a contract to perform for the ants. So, away they flew to Ant Island, dreaming of applause and for employment. When they got to Ant Island, the circus bugs found out what the ants expected. Flik. Rosie, a spider, told him, we're not fighters, we're circus stars." The circus bugs quietly slipped away. Flik ran after them, begging them to stay. Manny, the plain mantis, spoke for them all. You tricked us. He told Flik, you talk about our talents. We thought you were hiring us for a show. Flik was about to plead some more when he saw something that terrified him. It was a bird who ate bugs. Run, he yelled. As they ran, Flik and the circus bugs saw Dot floating toward them. The bird had seen Dot too. Swiftly, Francis flew up and grabbed the princess, while Slim and held Helmich up to distract the bird. Flik and the others helped Dot and Francis escape. Then they all flew into a prickly bush that blew them away. Flik, Dot, and the bugs climbed down from the bush to find a hole and to calmly cheer them. What a wonderful sound! The circus bugs had never heard applause before. Right there, and they decided to help the ants. If Flik came up with a plan. Flik had a plan, but he knew that the ants wouldn't listen to him. The plan had to come from a circus warriors. Manny was elected to explain the plan to Princess Atta. He told her they would chase the grasshoppers away from a fake bird. The ants stopped collecting grain and helped the bugs build the bird. They liked the idea of little ants defeating the big grasshoppers. They also still thought the warriors were heroes. Once the bird was finished, it was raised up into the knothole in the tree. They think when the time came, Flik would fly it out and give Hopper the scare of his nasty life. Far away from Ant Island, some of the Hopper's gangsters were muttering to one another. Why should they go back to Ant Island? They already had plenty of food. Hopper didn't agree. There was that ant who stood up to me. He reminded the gang, if we let one ant stand up to us, they might all stand up, and they goes our way of life. Hopper looked around. Not one grasshopper in his gang dared to disagree with him. Then let's ride, he ordered them. With a loud buzz, the gang took off for Ant Island. Meanwhile, Flik was telling the circus bugs that their work was finished. Now the bird was ready. They wouldn't have to stay and fight. The circus bugs, however, did not want to leave. They liked being heroes. Then Petey Flea showed up. I'm looking for some circus performers, he told the ants. Flik tried to hide the truth, but ants discovered they warrior bugs were only circus bugs. The queen ordered the circus bugs to leave and take Flik with them. Dot wanted to go to her friends, but her mother held her back. The ants knew they couldn't fight the grasshoppers alone. Frantically, they started collecting grain again, but there wasn't enough time. The alarm sounded. The grasshoppers had arrived. Mother Atta cried, What will we do? The queen had no answer. Hopper had no mercy. He and his gangsters turned the ants into slaves. They were even planning to swish the queen. When Dot overheard this, she knew she had to do something, so she sneaked away to find Flik. Once Dot convinced Flik to come back, he was ready to fight. She knew his bird idea would work. The Circus Bugs wanted to help too, but they knew P.T. would object, so they shut him up in the wagon. Then the whole group hurried back to Ant Island. While the Circus Bugs were distracting Hopper and his gang with their circus performance, Flik and Dot relayed the ant children. Together they sneaked up to get the bird ready. When Gypsy the Moth gave a signal, Flik's fake bird zoomed down from a tree, straight at the awful grasshoppers. Hopper and his gang ran. Then P.T. Flay, who had never understood Flik's plan, escaped, thinking the bird was a danger to them all. He set it on fire. Hopper realized they had been tricked. He quickly got his gang back together once more. The terrible grasshoppers threatened the poor ants. This time, Hopper's target was Atta. Flik couldn't stand it. "Leave her alone," he cried. Flik's action gave the other ants the courage they needed. Together with the Circus Bugs, they attacked. Hopper knew he couldn't survive if he fought against so many ants, but at least he could get Flik. Suddenly, it started to rain, and everyone ran for cover. Atta took advantage of the confusion to grab Flik away from Hopper. But Hopper wouldn't give up. He chased Flik and Atta across the river. Flik got another idea. He remembered where the real bird had its nest. He told Atta where to fly. When Hopper saw the bird, he laughed. "Another one of your little bird tricks," he jeered. But he wasn't. "Bye-bye, Hopper." The grasshoppers never returned, and the ants had never had to worry about the food again. The following spring, P.T. and Flea's circus set out on a victory tour. A few of the ants have even joined them, wanting to see the world as Flik had done. They left Flik with Atta and the rest of the colony. He would be happy inventing things to make ant life easier. He'd had another adventure, and home was where he wanted to stay. The end. So, I hope you found reading the Disney's Bug stories quite interesting. So, if you enjoyed it, just give a comment and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'd like to thank you for watching this video. And please stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification. You can also check out my Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and TikTok to support my extra additional content and exclusive, especially behind the scenes. So, I hope you see you guys later and stay tuned.